I was living in the quiet, where no feeling dared to stay. Every word I never whispered turned to shadows in the gray. I wore silence like a shelter, kept my heart behind a door. Every moment felt like drifting, not expecting something more. Then you moved without a warning, like a light I didn't hear. Not a sound, but something in me finally felt you drawing near. You found me where the stillness stayed, where nothing ever tried to grow. And in the space I used to hide, you let a softer feeling show. You didn't break my quiet down, you didn't force a single word, but in the hush I used to hold, you were the first thing that I heard. You were never loud or rushing, never pulled me out too fast. You just stayed within the silence, like a moment meant to last. And I felt my walls grow lighter every time you came around, like the air inside me shifting to a place I hadn't found. I didn't know what I was holding till your presence let it go. There was meaning in the stillness, more than I had ever known. It found me where the stillness stayed, where nothing ever tried to grow. And in the space I used to hide, you let a softer feeling show. You didn't break my quiet down, you didn't force a single word, but in the hush I used to hold, you were the first thing that I heard. Maybe love was never thunder, never meant to shake the sky. Maybe it's the quiet changes you don't see but feel inside. And you stayed where I was empty, never asking me to speak, till the silence turned to something soft enough for me to keep. You found me where the stillness stayed and turned it into something warm. A quiet heart began to open in the calm before the storm. You didn't take my silence away, you gave it somewhere safe to be. And in the space I couldn't reach, you gently brought it back to me. You were the first to touch my silence and make it feel like home. I was walking through my own life, like a place I barely knew. Every feeling stayed unspoken, every sky a quiet blue. Nothing reached beneath the surface, nothing asked me to begin. Then you came without a warning, planning something deep within. I didn't feel the moment when it started growing slow. But something in the silence found a way to let you in. You were seeds beneath my skin before I knew what love could be, before my heart could name the change. You were already in me, growing through the quiet spaces, reaching places I locked in. I didn't know I needed you till you bloomed beneath my skin. You were never loud or urgent, never trying to be seen. Just a warmth I couldn't measure, like a shift I couldn't read. And the roots began in silence, in the parts I couldn't find, turning empty into something, softly changing how I'm wired. I didn't know you touched me in the ways I couldn't feel, till the quiet turned to longing and the longing turned real. You were seeds beneath my skin before I knew what love could be, before my heart could name the change. You were already in me, growing through the hidden corners where I never thought to look, turning silence into color like a page I never took. Maybe love is never sudden, maybe it begins unseen, like a whisper in the distance, or a dream beneath a dream. And by the time I tried to hold it, it was more than I could give, 'cause you were just something passing. You were something You were seeds beneath my skin. Now I feel you in my breath, in every quiet piece of me that you woke from emptiness. You became the way I'm growing, even now you're still within. I didn't fall in love with you, you grew inside my skin. You were always there before I knew you were growing in me. You never raised your voice to reach me, never needed to be loud. There was something in your silence that could calm a restless crowd. Every word you let fall gently, like it knew just where to land. Not a sound, but something deeper, moving through me like a hand. I didn't know I was listening to something I could feel, till the quiet turned to color and the moment turned to real. It was the way you spoke in light, not in words I had to hear, but in warmth that wrapped around me. Every time you drew me near, you said everything without saying, every truth I couldn't name. In the glow you left inside me, nothing ever felt the same. never shown, like you saw the hidden pieces I had buried on my own. There was meaning in your presence, more than anything you said, like a language made of feeling spoken softly in my chest. I didn't know what I was missing till your light began to stay, and the silence I was holding slowly started slipping away. It was the way you spoke in light, not in words I had to hear, but in warmth that wrapped around me every time you drew me near. You said everything without saying, every truth I couldn't name. In the glow you left inside me, nothing ever felt the same. Maybe love is more than language, more than voices, more than sound. Maybe it's the quiet knowing when your heart is finally found. And you gave me something wordless, something steady, something bright, a kind of truth I never questioned in the way you spoke in light. It was the way you spoke in light, now it lives in everything, in the softness of my breathing, in the hope your echoes bring. You didn't need to say you love me, I could feel it every time. In the quiet, in the stillness, you were speaking through the light. You never needed words. I heard you in the light. In the light. You were never overwhelming, never tried to pull me close, just a presence I could breathe in, like a feeling I could trust. I was standing on the edges of a life I couldn't hold. You just stayed there in the quiet, like a hand I didn't know. And without a single moment that I could clearly trace, I began to feel you settling in the spaces I once erased. I grew around your warmth, like a shape I couldn't see. Every part of who I was found a softer way to be. You didn't ask me to change, you just stayed and let me start, till the lines I used to draw began to follow where you are. There was comfort in your silence, and the way you didn't rush. You became a steady rhythm in the quiet of my pulse, and I didn't feel it shifting till I tried to stand alone. And the space that once was empty now felt like it was your home. I didn't know you shaped me in the ways I couldn't see. touched my heart. I grew around your warmth. Now it's written in my soul, in the way I hold my silence, in the way I've learned to hope. You didn't change who I was, you just showed me who I am. And the life I'm living now still carries traces of your hands. I didn't even notice till I became someone shaped by you. I was walking through a season that I thought would never change. Every color felt so distant, every sky a muted gray. I had learned to keep things quiet, let the days just pass me by. Never thought that something living would be waiting deep inside. Then you came without a signal, no announcement, no alarm. But I felt the ground beneath me start to open, soft and warm, like a garden I didn't see coming. You were growing in my heart, through the cracks I left unspoken. You were there from the start. Every feeling I had buried started reaching for the sun. I didn't know that I was blooming till your light had just begun. You were never something sudden, never rushing into place, just a warmth that kept on staying in the quiet of my days. And the roots began to wander through the parts I couldn't feel, turning emptiness to color, making something slowly real. I didn't know what was changing, didn't see what it would be, till the silence turned to something soft enough to breathe in me. Like a garden I didn't see coming, you were growing in my heart, through the cracks I left unspoken. You were there from the start. Every shadow I was holding found a place to let it go. I didn't know that I was blooming till your love began to show. Maybe love is never planted in the ways we understand. Maybe it begins in silence, like a touch we never planned. And before I even noticed, you were part of everything. Not a moment, not a memory, but a quiet kind of spring. Like a garden I didn't see coming, now it lives in all I am. In the way I feel the sunlight, in the way like a trace I couldn't see. Just a quiet kind of presence lingering inside of me. Thought it lived inside the past, like a moment out of reach. But the more I stood in silence, something deeper started to speak. It wasn't just a memory, it wasn't something I could lose. There was something still unfolding in the way I learned to move. You planted dreams inside of me before I knew what they could be. Not just moments left behind, but a future I could see. In the spaces you once touched, there's a vision growing clear. You didn't only give me love, you left a life still blooming here. I can feel it in the choices, in the way I face the day, in the courage I was missing. Now it finds a quiet way. There's a path I didn't notice, and now it's calling me ahead. Like the echo of your presence, still alive in what you said. I thought love was just a feeling, something passing, something small. But you changed the shape of living, now I see it in it all. You planted dreams inside of me before I knew what they could be. Not just moments left behind, but a future I could see. In the quiet you created, there's a strength I didn't know. You didn't only leave me memories, you gave me somewhere I could grow. Maybe love is not in holding, maybe it's in what it starts, in the way it keeps on living long after it leaves our hearts. And I didn't see it forming, didn't know what it would mean, but you left more than your presence. You became my unseen dream. You planted dreams inside of me, and now they're everything I am. In the way I keep on moving, in the life I didn't plan. Every step I take is shaped by the light you left with me. You didn't only love me once, you gave me who I'm meant to be. You're still here in every dream you planted in me. You had a way of slowing moments, like time would lean into your hands. Every word you chose was gentle, like you knew I'd understand. I was used to guarding pieces, keeping everything inside. You just moved with quiet patience, never asking me to hide. And without a single lesson, without trying to explain, I began to feel a softness flowing slowly through my veins. There are soft things I learned from was a gentler way of living, all because I learned from you. You would listen without rushing, like my voice deserved the space. And I felt my edges soften every time I saw your face. There was kindness in your stillness, in the way you let me be. And it opened something hidden that was always part of me. I didn't know I needed a different way to feel, till your quiet kind of presence made the smallest things so real. There are soft things I learned from you that I didn't know before, like the strength in being open and the peace in wanting more, in the way I let love find me without trying to hold tight. There's a calm I never carried till you showed me how to feel it right. Maybe love is not a moment, maybe it's the things that stay, in the quiet, in the smallness, in the way we choose to change. And you left me more than memory, more than something I once knew. You left me with a softer heart that still belongs to you. There are some things I learned from you, now they're woven in my soul, in the way I face the hurting, in the way I let it go. I am gentler with my breathing, I am kinder when I move. There's a better version of me, because I once loved you. I still feel you in the soft things I became. You didn't leave me empty-handed, even when you walked away. There were pieces of your presence that refused to fade to gray. In the quiet after parting, in the space you used to be, something gentle kept on living, like a thread inside of me. I thought love was something fleeting, something time would take from me, but it stayed in softer places, hidden where I couldn't see. I carried what you gave me long after you were gone, in the way I kept on breathing, in the way I'm moving on, not in words or broken memories, not in something I could hold, but in quiet strength you left me, in a heart that's growing whole. There were lessons in your silence, there was truth in how you stayed, and I found it in the moments when the emptiness would fade. You became a quiet echo, not a voice I Even now, without you here, you're still living inside me. I still carry you in all that I've become. I thought time would take you from me, like a tide that pulls away. Leave your shape inside a memory, fading softer day by day. But I feel you in the changes, in the way I start to see. There's a quiet kind of presence still unfolding into me. Not a voice I hear around me, not a shadow I can chase, but a feeling in the shifting as I grow into this place. You're the echo in my becoming, in every step I learn to take, in the way I hold the silence and the choices that I make. Not a memory I'm holding, not a past I'm reaching through. You're a quiet kind of future that still carries pieces of you. I can feel it in my breathing, in the calm I couldn't find, in the way I face the darkness without leaving me behind. There's a softness in my edges that I didn't have before, like you left a gentle rhythm beating steady at my core. I didn't see it forming, didn't know what it would be, till I noticed something shifting in the shape of who I'm meant to be. You're the echo in my becoming, in the strength I never knew, in the way I keep on growing through the light you left me through. Not in words or broken moments, not in something I can lose, but in everything I'm turning into. There are traces left by you. Maybe love is not in keeping, maybe it's in what we grow, in the way it stays within us, even when we let it go. And I didn't lose your presence, it just changed its place in me, from a moment into meaning, from a memory into you became what I grew through, and every part of who I'm becoming still carries pieces of you. You're still here, and who I'm becoming. Hmm. you showed me. Even though you're not around, there are turns I never noticed. Now they feel like solid ground. I remember how you held me, like I could be something more. But I never saw the distance that would lead me past your door. I didn't know you were shaping every step I take alone. There was more than just a moment in the way you made me grow. I'm living in a future you never saw, walking through dreams you left behind. Every piece of who I'm becoming now carries the trace of your design. You didn't stay to see it unfold, but your light still leads me on. I'm standing in a life you started, a future you never saw. There are choices I make softly that still feel like echoes of you. And the courage I was missing, now I finally follow through. And the path keeps unfolding with a strength I didn't know. Like you planted something deeper that continues as I go. I didn't see it then, what your presence would become, but I feel it in the distance of the person I become. I'm living in a future you never saw, where the quiet turned into light. Every fear I used to carry, now it feels a little more right. You didn't stay to walk beside me, but you gave me where to go. I'm standing in a life you shaped, a future you'll never know. Maybe love is not in staying, maybe it's in what it leaves, in the way it keeps on building, even after it has to leave. And I didn't lose your presence, it just changed its place in time. From a moment into movement, from a memory into mine. I'm living in a future you never saw, now it's everything I am. In the way I keep on rising, in the strength within my hands. You didn't stay to see me become everything you helped me be, but every step I take forward still carries you with me. You're still here in the life you couldn't see. I try to leave you in the distance, where the past is meant to stay. Try to loosen every memory, let it slowly drift away. But there's something in the silence that still calls me back to you, like a thread beneath the surface, pulling deeper than I knew. I thought time would be enough to untangle what we grew, but deeper that I let go, the more I feel the truth. There were roots that stayed too deep, buried underneath my skin. No matter how I tried to leave, doesn't disappear, it's just roots that grow too deep. You became a quiet rhythm in the way I breathe alone. In the spaces left behind you, still somehow you feel like home. And I didn't plant it knowing what it would become in time, but the deeper I kept going, the more tangled into mine. I didn't see it forming, didn't know how far it grew, till I tried to pull away, and it pulled me back to you. There were roots that stayed too deep in the heart I couldn't reach. Every piece I tried to break found its way back into me. I could quiet every memory, I could choose what not to keep, but love like this won't let me go. It's a truth that's buried deep. Maybe love is not a moment, maybe it's a place we grow. Even when we try to leave it, it becomes the ground we know. And I didn't lose you fully, you're not something I can erase. You're the roots beneath my living, still holding me in place. There are roots that stay too deep, now they're part of who I am. In the way I feel the world, in the way I understand. I don't fight it like I used to, I don't beg it to release. I just carry what we planted and let it live in me, still beneath me. You're still growing. You left more than just a memory, more than something I could lose. There was life inside you leaving, something quiet breaking through. I could feel it in the silence, in the way I slowly changed, like a seed you left behind me, waiting somewhere in the pain. I didn't know I'd keep it, didn't know what it would mean, but the more I let it breathe, the more it turned into a dream. I water what you started, even after you were gone. Took the pieces that you left me, and I learned to carry on. Every tear became a river, every ache became a start. I didn't lose what we had built, I let it grow inside my heart. There were days I almost left it, tried to let it fade away, but it kept on softly calling, like it still had more to say. Maybe it's a gentle start, something planted in a moment that keeps growing in the heart. And I didn't lose your presence, it just changed what it would be. From a love I once was holding to a life inside of me. I wonder where you started, now it's stronger than before. In the way I face tomorrow, in the way I open doors. You didn't leave me empty, you gave more than I could see. And I grew what you once planted into everything I'll be. Still growing from what you began. When the colors started fading and the noise had settled down, I was standing in the quiet where your absence filled the ground. I thought everything was ending, like the light had slipped away. But beneath the empty feeling, something gentle chose to stay. Not a trace I could hold on to, not a voice I could recall, but a softness in the silence, like you never left at all. There's a bloom you left behind in the spaces you once knew, in the quiet after everything. Something beautiful still grew, not a memory I'm chasing, not a shadow I can find, just a living piece of you in the bloom you left behind. I can feel it in the healing, in the way I slowly breathe, in the light that finds its way back through the parts I used to leave. There's a calm I didn't carry till I walked this path alone, and I realized what you gave me was a place that felt like home. I didn't see it growing, didn't know what it would be, till the emptiness I stood in turned to something soft in me. There's a bloom you left behind that I carry in my chest, in the way I keep on rising, even when I need to rest. Not a love I'm holding on to, not a past I need to find, just the quiet kind of beauty in the bloom you left behind. Maybe love is not in staying, maybe it's in what it leaves, in the way it keeps on living, even when it disappears. And I didn't lose you fully, you became a softer part of the way I see the world now, of the way I hold my heart. There's a bloom you left behind, now it's everything I am, in the way I face the morning, stood uncertain, didn't know which way to go. Every step felt like a question, every answer moving slow. I was learning how to carry all the weight I used to hide, trying not to look behind me while becoming something new inside. And in moments no one noticed, when I thought I stood alone, there was something soft and steady, like a feeling I had known. I felt you in my quiet wins, in the steps I didn't show, in the strength I found within when I thought I couldn't grow. Not a voice I heard beside me, not a hand I could still hold, but a warmth in every moment that reminded me I'm whole. Face the morning without fear of what might be. In the calm I didn't carry, now it's living here with me. Every little piece of progress, every breath that felt like truth, felt like something you had given, still unfolding into proof. I didn't see it clearly till I stood inside the light, and I realized you were with me in the way I chose to fight. I felt you in my quiet wins, in the strength I couldn't fake, in the courage I was missing. Now it's in each step I take, not in something louder spoken, not in moments I could share, but in every silent victory, I could feel you standing there. Maybe love is not in presence, maybe it's in what remains, in the way it keeps on guiding through the healing and the pain. And I didn't lose your influence, it just changed what it would be. From a voice outside my living to a strength inside of me. I felt you in my quiet wins, now you're part of who I am, in the way I keep on rising, in the strength within my hands. You didn't need to see me now for your love to still begin. Every time I choose to grow, I feel you in my quiet wins, still with me in every step I take. You would speak in quiet visions of a life beyond the now, like the world was always waiting for a softer kind of vow. I would listen from a distance, like it wasn't meant for me, like your dreams were something borrowed from a place I couldn't see. But somewhere in your and dreaming, something found its way to stay. In the corners of my silence, it began to shape my days. They were dreams that learned my name after you were gone. What once lived inside your voice now is where I'm drawn. Not a story I was given, not a path I had to claim, but something I kept becoming. Like your dreams that learned my name. I can feel it in my choices, in the way I move ahead, in the quiet kind of courage that still echoes what you said. There's a future in my breathing that I didn't understand. Now it feels like something calling from a place I couldn't plan. I didn't see it changing, didn't know what it would be, till I stood inside the moment, and it finally felt like me. They were dreams that learned my name, now they're all I see. In the way I keep on reaching for the life in front of me. What once felt like it was yours, now it lives inside my frame. Not just something I remember, but a truth that speaks my name. Maybe love is more than holding, maybe it's what we become. In a way it keeps on shaping long after it is done. And I didn't lose your vision, it just changed its place in time. From a dream I couldn't carry to a life that now is mine. They were dreams that learned my name, now they're everything I am. In the way I keep on rising, in the life I didn't plan. You didn't stay to see them bloom, but you gave them space to grow. Now they speak in my own voice, in a way I finally know. They're mine now. Every dream that learned my name. I used to trace your shadow in every road I take. Every step was turned behind me, every choice I couldn't make. I was holding on to echoes like they'd lead me back to you. But the more I tried to follow, the more I felt I never moved. There was something in the distance calling softly through the ache. Not a voice I used to know, but a path I had to take. I stopped looking back for you, and the world began to change. Not because I lost your memory, but I walked beyond the pain. I still carry what you gave me in the quiet of my truth. I didn't have to leave you behind to finally stop just ahead. Like the weight I used to carry, learned a softer way to rest. You were never something broken, never something I regret. Just a part of who I'm made of that I didn't need to forget. I didn't lose your meaning, I just changed where it would stay. From a place I kept returning to a truth that led my way. I stopped looking back for you, and I finally found my pace in the light that kept on waiting. Just beyond that empty space, I still feel you in my breathing, in the calm I've grown into. I didn't have to stop loving you to stop reaching out for you. Maybe love is not in holding, maybe it's in letting go. In the way it stays within us, even when we choose to grow. And I didn't lose your presence, it just changed what it would be. From a place I used to search for, to a strength inside of me. I stopped looking back for you, now I'm walking toward the light with a heart that still remembers, but no longer needs to fight. You're not something I've abandoned, you're a part I carry through, and I found a way to keep you without turning back for you. Still with me. But I'm moving I used to think it was your story, like I only played a part. Like the beauty that was blooming started somewhere in your heart. I would stand inside the shadows of the light you seemed to hold, never knowing I was shaping every piece of what we'd grow. But the deeper that I look now at the life we left behind, I can feel my hands within it, every root and every line. What grew was never just yours, it was something we became. In the way we held the silence, in the way we spoke each name, every piece of what was living carried both of what we gave. It was never just your garden, it was something that we made. There were moments I was changing, even when I didn't see. In the way I learned your rhythm, you were learning parts of me. We were building something quiet, something neither of us planned, but it grew between the spaces where our hearts could understand. I didn't see it forming, didn't know how much was mine, till I traced it in the aftermath and found my heart in every line. What grew was never just yours, it was more with me here. What grew was never just yours. Now it's part of who I am. In the way I feel the sunlight, in the strength within my hands. You didn't take it when you left me. You didn't leave it all behind. What we made is still within me, a living piece of both our lives. We grew it together, and it still lives in me. And it still lives in me. You would look at me like knowing something I could never see, like there was a quiet brightness hidden somewhere deep in me. I would turn away from mirrors, never trusting what was there. But you held a different vision, like you saw me clearer than I dared. I didn't understand it, didn't know what you could find, but you stayed there in the shadows, holding light inside your eyes. I became the light you saw, even after you were gone. In the way I learned to rise, in the strength I'm leaning on. What you believed in quietly, now it's everything I am. You didn't just see who I was, you saw who I could stand. There were days I almost lost it, all the hope you placed in me. But your voice became a whisper, guiding who I'm meant to be. And I started seeing traces of the person you once knew, in the way I faced the darkness and still chose to follow through. I didn't see it forming, didn't know how much I'd grow, till I stood inside the moment and I felt your vision glow. I became a light you saw, now it's living in my soul. In the way I hold my future, in the way I've learned control. What you gave without asking, what you saw without a doubt, is the strength I carry forward. It's the truth I live out loud. Maybe love is not in keeping, maybe it's in what we see, in the way it plants a vision of the person we can be. And I didn't lose your belief in me, it just changed what it would do. From a light you held beside me, to a fire I grew. Didn't need was always in me. I don't walk the same direction that I thought I would with you, but the path I'm on is gentle, and it still feels partly true. There are echoes in my footsteps, there are traces in my days, not in ways that pull me backward, but in quiet, steady ways. I didn't lose what mattered, it just changed where it would stay. From a place I used to reach for, to a truth that lights my way. I'm living a life that still carries you softly, not holding on, but never letting go. In the calm of the choices I'm making now, there's a part of you that still flows. Not a weight that I'm trying to carry, not a past I'm trying to relive, just a quiet kind of presence in the life I continue to live. There's a strength inside my breathing that I didn't have before, and I know it came from something that you quietly restored. In the way I meet the morning, in the way I face the night, there's a softness that remains here, like your shadow made of light. I didn't see it clearly till I stood here on my own, and I felt you not beside me, but inside the life I've grown. I'm living a life that still carries you softly, in the silence between every breath, in the peace that I've learned to believe in the healing that followed the rest. Not a story that ended in losing, not a love that was meant to be gone, just a part of me moving forward with your presence gently on. Maybe love is not in staying, maybe it's in what it leaves, in the way it keeps on shaping every version that will be. And I didn't leave you behind me, you're not something I outgrew. You became a softer rhythm in everything I do. I'm living a life that still carries you softly. Now it's part of who I am, in the way I keep on rising, in the strength within my hands. It didn't stay, but you're not missing. You just changed what you would be, a quiet kind of forever, still living inside of me. Still with me, in the life I'm living. I used to think you gave me something, like like a light I couldn't own, like the dreams you left inside me were a place I'd never grow. I would hold them like a memory, like a gift I couldn't keep, something borrowed from your presence, something fragile, something deep. But the more I stand in silence, the more I start to see there was something always living long before you came to me. The dreams were always mine, even when you held the light, even when I couldn't see them shining softly through the night. You didn't give me something new, you showed me what was true. All the things I thought were yours were always mine to grow into. You were just a quiet mirror, reflecting what was there. Every hope I tried to silence, every truth I couldn't bear. And I see it now so clearly, in the way I stand alone. There was never anything missing, just a self I hadn't known. I didn't lose your presence, it just changed what it would mean. From a voice that felt like guidance to a strength I feel in me. The dreams were always mine, now they're living in my hands. And the way I keep on moving in the life I understand. You didn't leave me empty, you just helped me see it through. All the things I thought you gave me were always something I could do. Maybe love is not in giving, maybe it's in what we find, in the way it lifts the shadows from the corners of our mind. And I didn't need to keep you to become who I could be. You were just the light that showed me everything already in me. The dreams were always mine, now I carry them with grace, in the way I face the future, in the strength I can embrace. You didn't take them when you left me, you didn't leave them far behind. You just helped me finally realize the dreams were always mine. I see it now, everything